You're listening to Full Circle Weekly News. These articles are compiled by Eric the Unready, and I'm your host, Moss Bliss. This is episode 373, covering week 26, June 23rd to 30th, 2024. GNU Guile 3.0.10 has been published, a free implementation of the functional programming language Scheme, which supports the ability to embed code in other programming languages. Guile can be used as a language to develop extensions for applications, develop a configuration, or develop components to communicate with various applications. Guile is the official language of the extension development community for the GNU operating system. Guile is a virtual machine that performs a portable set of instructions generated by a special optimizing compiler. The Guile VM integrates easily with the application code in C and C++. In addition to the Scheme language, which supports the R5RS, R6RS, and R7RS specifications, the Guile project has developed compilers for other languages such as Emacs Script and Emacs Lisp, and Lua is in the development process. The package includes a library of modules that implement standard service functions such as working with the HTTP protocol, parsing XML, and using object-oriented programming methods. ScudoNet 7.1 is out, a specialized distribution based on Debian, optimized for the deployment of traffic balancers and reverse proxy, as well as to create an infrastructure for the delivery of applications, both the creation of load balancers for HTTP and HTTPS, and the implementation of services for the distribution of arbitrary TCP and UDP traffic nodes are supported. Management and monitoring of a system is carried out through a web interface. In addition, the finished build of package repository is provided, which can be used to make ScudoNet environment on already installed systems with Debian. The release is based on Debian 12 and comes with a Linux 6.1.90 kernel. Changes include an expansion of equipment support and the use of new features in the 6.1 kernel related to the network stack, virtualization, memory management, security and power management, added support for the definition of IP addresses in the balancer via DHCP, and the possibility of specifying domain names instead of IP addresses when configuring the backends in the balancer provided. OpenShot 3.2.0 is out, a free, nonlinear video editing system. The project code is supplied under the GPLv3 license. The interface is written in Python and PyQt5. The video processing kernel is written in C++ and uses the capabilities of the FFmpeg package. The interactive timeline is written using HTML5, JavaScript, and AngularJS. Ready-made builds are prepared for Linux as AppImage, Windows, and Mac OS. The editor is distinguished by a convenient and intuitive interface that allows you to edit video even as novice users. The program supports several dozen visual effects, allows you to work with multi-track mounting, scales with the ability to move elements between them, allows you to scale, crop, merge video blocks, ensure smooth flow from one roller to another, to overlay translucent areas, etc. You can convert video with preview of changes on the fly. Thanks to the use of libraries like FFmpeg, OpenShot project supports a huge number of video, sound, and image formats, including full support for SVG. The OpenSUSE project presented the release of the atomically updated OpenSUSE Leap Micro 6.0 distribution, designed to create microservices and use as a basic system for virtualization and container installation platforms. Installation builds for x86-64 and ARM64, AArch64 architectures are available for download, as well as ready-made system images for virtualization systems and raw images for copying to media. The OpenSUSE Leap Micro distribution is based on the MicroOS project technology and is positioned as a community version of the commercial product SUSE Linux Enterprise Micro, characterized by the lack of graphical interface. To configure, you can use the Cockpit web interface, which allows you to control the system through the browser. The user is provided with a toolkit for quick switching from Leap Micro to SUSE SLE Micro. It is implied that you can first implement a solution based on Leap Micro for free and, if necessary, upgrade. Ubuntu Sway Remix 24.04 LTS is now available, providing a pre-configured and ready-to-use desktop based on the Sway tiled composite manager. The distribution is an unofficial edition of Ubuntu 24.04, created with an eye on both experienced GNU Linux users and beginners who want to try a tiled window manager without the need for a long setup. Builds for AMD 64 and ARM 64 Raspberry Pi architectures have been prepared for download. The distribution environment is built on Sway, a composite manager that uses the Wayland protocol and is fully compatible with the i3 tiled window manager, as well as the WayBar panel, the PC ManFM GTK3 file manager, and utilities from the NWG Shell project such as the Azote desktop wallpaper manager, full screen application menu NWG drawer, utilities for displaying the contents of scripts on the screen NWG wrapper, used to display hotkey hints on the desktop, GTK theme customization manager, cursor, and fonts NWG look and auto-tiling script. The distribution includes programs with a graphical interface such as Firefox, Qt Browser, Audacious, Transmission, LibreOffice Pluma, and Mate Calc, as well as console applications and utilities such as the MusicCube music player, MPV video player, Sway image viewing utility, utility for viewing PDF documents Zathura, text editor NeoVim, file manager Ranger, and others. Another feature of the distribution is the complete refusal to use the Snap Package Manager. All programs are delivered in the form of regular deb packages, including the Firefox web browser, for installation of which the official Mozilla Team PPA repository is used. The installer is based on Calamares. TileOS 1.1 T-Rex has a new maintenance release available, built on Debian and offering a desktop using tiled window managers. TileOS pursues the same goals as the Ubuntu Sway Remix distribution, developed by the same author, offering a ready-to-use interface that does not require additional configuration, and is aimed at both experienced Linux users and beginners who want to try out a tiled window manager environment without spending a lot of time setting it up. Unlike Ubuntu Sway Remix, TileOS is much more open to changes and customization and is free of any potential copyright issues. Builds for the AMD 64 architecture have been prepared for download. They are working on support for ARM 64 and particular Raspberry Pi boards. The source code for TileOS components is available on GitLab. Pipewire 1.2.0 is out, which replaced the Pulse Audio sound server. It differs from Pulse Audio by adding tools for working with video streams, the ability to process audio with minimal delays, and a new security model for access control at the level of individual devices and streams. The project is supported in GNOME and is used by default in Fedora, Linux, RHEL, Ubuntu, Debian, SUSE, and OpenSUSE, and many other Linux distributions. The project code is written in C and is distributed under the LGPL v2.1 license. Pipewire is based on a multi-process architecture that allows you to share content across multiple applications. It provides capabilities to process any multimedia stream, mix and redirect video streams, and control video sources, such as video capture devices, web cameras, or screen content displayed by applications. Pipewire allows multiple webcam applications to work together and solves problems with secure screen capture and remote screen access in the Wayland environment. When used as an audio server, Pipewire can achieve minimal latency and provide functionality that combines the capabilities of Pulse Audio and Jack, including the needs of professional audio processing systems that Pulse Audio could not offer. One of the main goals is to support self-contained Flatpak applications and run on a Wayland-based graphics stack. Shotcut 24.06 is available, developed by the author of the MLT project and using that framework for video editing. Support for the video and audio formats is implemented through FFmpeg. You can use plugins with the implementation of video and audio effects compatible with Frior and Ladspa. One of the features of Shotcut is the possibility of multi-track editing with arranging video from fragments in various source formats without the need to first import or re-encode them. There are built-in tools for creating screencasts, processing images from a web camera, and receiving streaming video. Qt is used to build the interface. The code is written in C++ and distributed under the GPL v3 license. Pre-built builds are available for Linux, AppImage, Flatpak, and Snap, Mac OS, and Windows. Google has announced the winners of the Open Source Peer Bonus, awarded for contributions to the development of open source projects. Nominations are made by Google employees, but nominees must not be affiliated with the company. The award recognizes developers, technical writers, designers, community activists, mentors, security experts, and others associated with open source software. This year, 159 people were nominated for the award. 130 people involved in the development of many open projects were given the award. Projects including Angular, Apache Spark, Bazel, Cargo, Chromium, Chimera Linux, ClangD, Containerd, CoreDNS, curl, Dart, Gentoo Hardened, Go, Kubernetes, LibCamera, Linux kernel, Mercurial, PostgreSQL, Rust, TensorFlow, and XZ. Winners will be sent certificate with Google's recognition and an undisclosed cash reward. Nate Graham has published another report on KDE development. Among the interesting changes, work has been carried out to eliminate problems in the composite manager that led to a decrease in performance when using a Wayland-based session on older equipment with an Intel GPU, and a fix to address the performance hit when using triple buffering is included in the maintenance release of KDE Plasma 6.1.1. In addition, KWin provides an automatic transition to software rendering on systems with older GPUs that do not support the necessary OpenGL operations. Changes have been made to the codebase of GNOME Shell and the Mutter Composite Manager to allow building without X11 support, leaving only Wayland. The change was made as part of an initiative that has been developing over the past 2 years to transfer X11 to the category of optional dependencies. Until now, Mutter could not be built only as a composite Wayland server without bindings to X11. In addition, a portion of changes has been prepared for the GNOME 47 branch aimed at improving support for graphics tablets. The tablet calibration capabilities have been expanded, for example. The ability to calibrate in the case of manual rather than automatic comparison with the monitor has been added. They enabled display of tablets not supported by LibWacom in the GNOME configurator. These tablets are now treated as a generic tablet with common basic settings. The names of displays in the configurator and settings for matching a tablet to a monitor have been unified. Debian 12.6 has been generated, which includes accumulated package updates and adds fixes to the installer. The release includes 162 stability updates and 84 vulnerability updates. Changes in Debian 12.6 include the update to the latest stable versions of the ClamAV, DPDK, Flatpak, NVIDIA, OpenSSL, OVN, Postfix, PostgreSQL 15, QEMU, and Systemd packages. Removed packages include PHP-PG-admin, PyTest Salt Factories, RubyRL, SPIP, and Vastraffic-CLI. For downloading an installation from scratch, installation builds with Debian 12.6 will be prepared. Previously installed systems that are kept up to date receive the updates included in 12.6 through the standard update installation system. Security fixes included in new Debian releases are made available to users as updates are released through security.debian.org. At the same time, a new release of the previous stable branch of Debian 11.10 is available. The NVIDIA-graphics-drivers, Postfix, PostgreSQL-13 packages have been updated to the latest stable versions. The PHP-PG-admin, PyTest-Salt-Factories, PyTest-Test-Infra, Salt, and Snort packages have been removed. Theia IDE is out, developed by the Eclipse Foundation based on the code editor Theia and plugins developed for it. The project code is written in TypeScript and distributed under the license EPLv2. Theia IDE is supplied as a self-contained desktop application designed for installation on local systems and also in the form of online versions for working from a browser. A ready-made Docker image is provided for deploying the online version on your server. The project is being developed with the participation of IBM, Red Hat, Google, ARM, Broadcom, Huawei, Samsung, Ericsson, SAP, and Arduino on a neutral platform supported by the Eclipse Foundation and independent of specific manufacturers. The Theia platform is built on a front-end back-end architecture which involves running two processes, one of which is responsible for rendering the interface and the second for the internal logic. Processes communicate using HTTP using JSON-RPC via WebSockets or REST API. The separation allows you to work via the web, in which the back-end using the Node.js platform runs on an external server, and the front-end with the interface is loaded in the browser. Theia IDE runs both processes locally and uses the Electron platform to create a self-contained application. You've been listening to Full Circle Weekly News. For more details, see the next issue of the magazine at fullcirclemagazine.org or check the links in the show notes. You can contact me at bardmoss@pm.me. I'll see you next week.